What do you mean his name's Chat Chatterson? No, it's the talking experience, damn it!
Hello everybody, my name is Chat Chatterson and welcome to Chatting Smack. I'm just going to call it that because I had no idea what else to call it, and it doesn't really fall under Best Buds or a chat with. It's coming at you fresh. It's coming at you from the leader of the Chat Cats, the Chat Man. That is I, and we are talking about the Superstar Shakeup, which is Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, switching superstars and bringing a little bit of more excitement, more flavour to the shows. And things kicked off with none other than Mike the Miz Mizanin making his way back to the red brand. Miz has shifted between brands pretty much every single time there's been a shake-up. I can't think of one where he hasn't. And he's built steam and continued his momentum all the way through that, just getting higher and higher up that card, making some real memorable moments along the way and becoming a talking point for all of the roster, red or blue brand. He's a brand leader, and having him on Raw has got to be a boost. He had a little brawl with Shane. They busted each other up. Miz came out of the thing bleeding, had his almost Becky-like clinch moment when he took one of those Shane potatoes to the head and the blood started flowing. It was a really, really fun, really exciting, really energetic way to kick off Raw. Things kept on chugging forward, and we were getting an 8-man tag team match. It was Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, Aleister Black, Ricochet taking on the Revival, and the next Raw debut, it was the War Raiders from NXT, now going under their new name, the Viking Experience, ladies and gentlemen. How hokey and fake is that? Really, really bad. And of course that set Twitter alight. Viking Experience was trending all across Twitter, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. Just because your name's in somebody's mouth, if it's for all the wrong reasons, that's not going to pay off. I mean, you look at the Highlanders, you look at Crime Time, all these cliched gimmicks that really died a quick death. You're dooming the War Raiders to that fate. Not only are they now the Viking Experience, by the way, which is so new generation, and they're not real Vikings, people, nudge nudge, wink wink, like we really need to know, and that you need to reinstill that that's fake. No, now they're Eric and Ivar, that's it, Eric and Ivar. I can understand why people are outraged. Let's not pretend that's not silly. How about we draft Rowan over from SmackDown and we can have Eric versus Rowan, the real battle of the Wyatt family. It's really silly and really out of touch as well. The War Raiders had created such a fan base for themselves on NXT that changing that, I know that war is a bad trigger word on YouTube or whatever, but why didn't you just call them the Acer or something Nordic? Or how about Valhalla or the Raw Raiders, seeing as they'd just been drafted to Raw? Credit to whoever gave me that idea, by the way. It was somebody on YouTube. It was a cracking idea. The Raw Raiders, fantastic. But yeah, that match was a really good match, but it kind of was taken away from it by the drama. They put on a fantastic performance inside the ring. It was just like watching Hanson and Rowe. They did their business, hit loads of cool spots in there. Really fast-paced action, proved themselves to do what the War Raiders do. The Viking Experience do. It's going to take a lot to get used to. Yeah, they were just doing their thing in there, kicking all kinds of butt, and it was amazing to watch. Who was next on the list? Andrade Cien Almas. There's a guy who's going to really benefit from this move to Raw. That match with Finn Balor was something else, and I think they have a lot of faith in this young guy. There's some moves to SmackDown as well that's going to open up some room for him there in that mid-card division, and I think there's a lot of talk about Money in the Bank, where Andrade's going in the future, and I think that all those opportunities are going to come to him on Raw. Real good showing in there with Finn Balor. I don't want to misrepresent, but I think Zelina Vega also joined them, and I think there's lots of opportunities there for her as well. I think she's a fantastic women's wrestler, and I think the more opportunity she gets to shine and to show that, and on the red brand, you know, even if the Fox deal makes SmackDown potentially the A show, everybody's got in their mind that Raw is this A show, and I think her there on that pedestal is going to really, really shake things up in the women's division on Raw. It's going to be really interesting, and I hope to see Andrade and Zelina maybe both on those titles at some point together. That would be a sight to behold. 2 sets of women's titles, perhaps even 2 sets of males titles by then. That's a lot of gold for Andrade Cien Almas. Lars Sullivan shows up next, dominating. I think it was Rey Mysterio. I can't remember everything that happened in here, but Lars also showed up on SmackDown, so that might mean that he ends up over there on the blue brand full time. I think he might be a free agent still at the moment. Who knows about that one? But a skirmish with Mysterio is telling as well, because Mysterio now across on the red brand as well. I don't really have a lot to say about this one. I think Rey's a fantastic wrestler. He's a legend, but I don't have a lot of thoughts about where his future is in the WWE right now. Perhaps even a feud with Lars Sullivan. That'd be an interesting big man, small man dynamic. And even though Lars took on R-Truth on SmackDown, we'll just skim over that here. I don't think we're going to go in depth. Lars took out R-Truth on SmackDown, so perhaps Mysterio could come back, get revenge, start something off there. Great big man, small man action. Next to Raw was Sami Zayn, and that's cool. Who doesn't love Sami Zayn? He gave the crowd a grilling, basically called them out for their hypocrisy. I like it. He's right. He said something fantastic on Twitter yesterday as well that was just spot on and to the point about how people are still lapping up everything he's saying when they're cutting him down. Classic heel work. Perfect. Sami Zayn. Next up, Naomi across from SmackDown. She had pretty much accomplished everything that she'd done over there. She'd held the title. She just didn't seem happy. There was some complaining on Twitter. Hopefully the glow will be reignited across on the red brand. She is joining her husband and his brother, as the Usos are now also on the red brand. I feel like they're going to do their best work in a long time over here. The Usos are one of the best tag teams in the planet, no denying it. And that's just the way it goes. I've got a lot of faith in the Usos. Rejuvenating their sort of career. They had a lot of matches with the New Day across on SmackDown. They had again pretty much exhausted all their options across there, like Naomi. So getting them all across to the red brand, giving them all new opponents, all new outlooks, I think that can only lead to fresh new matchups. Really exciting programming. What else do we have here? Eric Young. Yeah, the Sanity are gone, by the way. Alexander Wolf's left the company. I don't know what Killian Dane's doing. And Eric Young is with us on Monday Night Raw. He didn't actually show up on Raw, but there was a picture, and a graphic, and Eric Young was on there. So that indicates that he will be on the red brand, alongside Lacey Evans, who took to the ring. Had a match with Natalia, knocked her out with a women's right, established her dominance. I think it's looking as if she's going to be going up against Big Becky Two Belts, who also seems to have the power to keep on moving between Raw and SmackDown. Becky was on SmackDown as well. Ryder and Hawkins staying on Raw, apparently. Yeah, we've seen that. I think that may be everything so far, other than, of course, the big one, the reveal at the end of the night, the tag team partner for Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins from SmackDown to Raw, none other than the phenomenal AJ Styles. And as far as I remember, he also picked up the win for his team there on Raw that night, proving his dominance on the red brand. And I think that Styles has a lot of big money matchups. Obviously Rollins is right there in his sights for that Universal Championship. I don't think AJ's held the belt before. I can't remember him being Universal Champion, but that just might be a gap in my memory. But that is definitely an accolade that AJ Styles will be looking to go after. Alright folks, just give me a second here. We're going to pull up the SmackDown portion. I think I've remembered everybody from the Raw side of things, so we're going to jump on across to SmackDown. Oh no, I did not. Cedric Alexander, call up from 205 Live. He is also going to be joining us on Monday Night Raw. But yeah, other than that, I think we're all good. I think we've seen everything. Oh god, I just seen the Viking Experience name again. It's so embarrassing. Alright, time for Big Sweaty Shane's show. It wasn't long until we found out that first draft pick from Raw to SmackDown Live, and it was none other than Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor. He had a match with Ali, really good chemistry I think between the two of them. Really been bored with Balor on Raw lately, so I was hoping he'd come across to SmackDown Live and get a freshen up. Finn's always seemed like one of those SmackDown guys anyway, so I'm glad to see him go there and see what he can do. Good stuff all round. Next, Paige introduced us to who she was talking about last week as far as the tag team went, and it was Asuka joined by NXT call-up Kairi Sane. Also Ember Moon returned in that segment. She will now be a SmackDown superstar, and her, Kairi, Asuka, and somebody else who Bayley. Yes, Bayley jumped across from Raw to SmackDown here as well and was met by a lot of resentment from the Montreal crowd. They just did not take to Bayley at all, perhaps because of the drama with Sasha going on at the minute, but there was a real big backlash against Bayley. People just did not want to see her. I don't know what it was either. I don't know if it's just LOL Canada or if her previous run, I think she's had a SmackDown run before that was pretty lackluster, so maybe people just didn't want to see her back, as sad as that is. Perhaps a heel turn could freshen Bayley up. She did seem to have a bit of an edge here, but she was celebrating there with the babyfaces coming to the end of the match anyway. They were wrestling women's tag team champions, the Iconics, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, who teased the reunion of Absolution, but Paige was having none of that. Next across to SmackDown Live, we are talking Buddy Murphy, another one of Cedric Alexander and Ali's longtime rivals. Big Buddy Murphy, the best kept secret, and not only NXT and 205 Live, but on the whole roster. I feel this guy has just had match after match after match in the past year that's just been mind blowing. Nobody really talks about him the way they deserve to. People call him a budget Kenny Omega. I don't stand for that. Buddy Murphy's a big deal to me. I really love the guy. I think he's got a lot to offer. It was amazing. Lars Sullivan smashed up R-Truth, of course, as I mentioned previously, so I guess he's on both brands. But yeah, quickly jumping back to Buddy Murphy, I think he's got a lot to gain here on SmackDown, and I think some matches with a few of the other main roster talents could really give him the rub he needs to move him right up that card. Ali's kickoff on SmackDown when he first came across earlier in the year was absolutely amazing. I feel like Buddy Murphy is going to be absolutely amazing as well. They just need to play their cards right. I think Buddy Murphy's got a lot of money to make them. Quickly jumping back to the Finn Balor draft pick at the beginning there, I'm just wondering if that means that Samoa Joe will now be moving across to Monday Night Raw, or if he will also be with Finn Balor on SmackDown. Maybe they'll compete against each other to unify the titles, and maybe all champions will start moving between shows. Who knows? I don't understand really what's going to happen with the Fox deal anyway when Fox start demanding all the big name superstars on their show and get maybe a little bit jealous when they're also showing up on USA Network. So we'll have to see how that one works out. Next up was Vince McMahon's big announcement, the superstar signing that would shake SmackDown to its very core, their biggest acquisition in history. That man was revealed to be, drumroll, Elias. Yeah, it's Elias, everybody. I don't know how else to break it to you. Vince McMahon has chosen Elias as his new Drew McIntyre. Hopefully this rub goes better though. Drew seeing more success now than ever, and Elias has had his own success without any rub like this, so hopefully this just kind of detours round the old curse that being the chosen one seems to bring, and Elias sees a lot of success. A man who wasn't happy being overlooked though, and the last big jump from Raw to SmackDown, the game changer, that man is the big dog Roman Reigns. I think Roman has so much to do on SmackDown. It's insane. Lots of fresh new opponents. The crowd was all over it there was hardly a boo in the building. People loved Roman Reigns being across on SmackDown, and I think it's obvious. That with fresh new opponents, with a whole new landscape, with a bit of a skip in his step, which I would have as well after beating leukemia, coming back to the job that you love the most. He's going to be loving it. Oh, actually, as far as I remember, Cesaro moved across too. And he's a guy that I would love to see Roman Reigns mix it up with across here on SmackDown. If Sheamus isn't joining him, Cesaro Reigns would be a huge main event program. And I think we're all looking at Daniel Bryan Roman as well, to be honest. That one is going to be unbelievable when it hits us. But yeah, Roman's going to be hitting this with a whole new buzz, a whole new lease of life on it. And I can't see him stagnating. I think he's going to ride this one to the bank. And I think that if fans are willing to take the chance on him on this, the blue brand could really become home for Roman Reigns, like it became home for John Cena, for Kurt Angle, for Brock Lesnar over the years. All these guys that were in, or even Daniel Bryan, all these guys that were really ordained to become the next... I was going to swear there, but even The Rock. SmackDown was named after The Rock. You got to be smart. The top guy really comes from the birth of the blue brand. And if Fox is the main stage, damn. But yeah, all the best of luck to Roman, and all the best of luck to all these new draft picks in their new homes. I've really enjoyed discussing it with you, giving you a little brief rundown of my feelings on the matter. Overall, I think SmackDown probably won. If Joe does go to Raw, the balance is a bit swayed the other way. But, man, it's a hard one to call. It's certainly been an experience. A Viking. Nah, it's too cheap. Follow me on Twitter at Chat Chatterson, and I am completely funded by you guys. I am going to be doing so much more content. I'm going to be throwing everything I can at this. I want to be in this, and I'm in this for the chat cats. I'm in this for you guys. So if you could spare me, donate me. I've been going about 2 months now without any money, and I'm fighting it every step of the way. But you don't hear me complaining because, I'm blessed. I've got family, I've got you guys. And I know I get depressed sometimes. I know I get down in the dumps. But you guys are the best. You keep me going. This is going to keep me going. I'm buzzing. PayPal.me/Chat Chatterson if you feel like helping me out. Give this a like, give this a share, give me a subscribe, give it a retweet. All love. I'm blessed. Chat Cat strong, motherfucker.